Minister Hiram Roche. Minister Hiram Roche, how you doing, my brother?
Doing wonderful, sir.
Yes, indeed. So let's go and get on into it, my dear friend. Amen.
Yes,
and
sir.
amen.
Yes, sir. As always, we want to say thank you all for being on and for listening. So we're going to jump right into it.
Yes,
Today,
indeed.
we are going to be dealing with check your stuff. So we're going to jump right into the scripture context and do what we do, and I'm going to hit it, and we're going to keep moving. Amen. So Joshua chapter 7 verses 11 is actually what we're going to be reading, and it says, Israel have sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant, which I command them. For they have even taken of the accursed things, and have also stolen, and disassembled also, and they have put it even among their own stuff. So basically, I'm going to just jump right into it, so we can all be on the same page. I need us to make sure we understand. So right now, the people of Israel, as we know, have already come over the promised land. This portion of where we're dealing with in this context really starts in chapter 6, where they have literally just taken over Jericho by a miraculous move of God, that I would say. And there were specific instructions that God gave unto Joshua to give to the children of Israel. Listen, when we do this, after we take over, this is exactly what's going to happen. I need y'all to go in. I don't want y'all to take nothing for yourself, because everything up in this place is a curse.
Yes, sir.
The people and the stuff. The only thing that we taking them out of here is the woman that gave us the insight that we needed to be able to help her and her family. That's
Come
it.
on, man. Come on.
And so then he goes in and he says, after we do that, the things that we're taking out for God is going to be the silver, the gold. We're going to take the brass. We're going to take specific stuff. But those things are only going to be for God. Everything else is going to be burnt up. And so the scripture shows that basically they did that. They took everything out, and then they burnt down Jericho. And then Joshua made a decree that if anybody goes and tries to rebuild in this place, you are cursed just like the things are. So he wanted to make sure that everyone understood that this place that we just conquered, that we just came over, was an accursed thing. But now the scripture shows us that in the midst of all of this, one of the people in the house, I'll say it that way, in the house or in the tribes of Israel, took some things. The next thing that we see that happens starts off, I believe, in the first verse of chapter 7, where they're now about to go over and try to get this little spot called Ai. They go to try to attack this place called Ai, and in this they understood that because this was small, we don't need to take everybody. We just need to take a little handful of us, and we can go and take care of these folks real quick, and we'll be back till we can be able to eat dinner and have fun. It ain't gonna take us long to beat these little people. But the scripture shows that they went, and when they went to go attack Ai, that an Ai ended up whooping they behind. And the scripture says they end up running away. Now, this is the children of Israel, the ones that just defeated a mighty place that you could not get in. Now they're running away from this small place called Ai. And it says that now they ran back. Joshua now hears that basically what has transpired and what has happened. He called him and his elders. They praying to God, asking God, what just transpired? What happened? And God says to Joshua, which I love this conversation, man, get up. I don't even know why you down there praying. Right. I don't even know why you going through all of this. The reason why you are in this type of situation is because there's somebody in your camp that has touched the accursed things. There's somebody in your camp that has done this specific thing that I told y'all not to do. And because of that, they cannot stand, and I'm not with you. Now, he made this so apparent. He needed Joshua and everybody else to understand that this thing that I'm talking about is very serious to me. So then the question comes, before we dive in, and I'm going to hit it and then we're going to keep on moving. But the question that comes is, simply stated, what was the accursed thing? Now we can go, and we can't go to the specific scripture that actually deals with what the accursed things was, because the man that took it actually went through and told you what I took. And he also told you why I took it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hit it so we can go ahead and talk about this whole thing. He basically, after now getting found out, after now being convicted in his heart, now he has come forward and now said, this is what it is. Now, because he's been found out, he tells you, I took the silver. I took the gold. And the reason why I took it is because I saw it. And I coveted after it. And I stole it, and then I hid it and buried it underneath the earth, underneath my tent. Now, he made it so specific in this conversation of what he's sharing. This is what made this one of the big problems. One of the problems is you stole from God. Understand, nobody was supposed to get nothing. The silver and the gold belonged to God. That was supposed to go back to the temple. That was supposed to go back where God's place was. So why would you steal from God? Because I coveted it. I saw it and it looked good to me. And because it looked good to me, I coveted after. So that thing that you coveted was the thing that was the accursed thing. Now, this is what makes this powerful, that God is saying, check your stuff. Because the thing that he took from was something or a place that there was supposed to be victory in. They defeated Jericho, but you kept the spoil. So the question that God asks is, where in your life was there something that you said you defeated, but you kept the spoil? Where in your life have you taken something that did no longer belong to you because you didn't win this battle? I did. And because I won this battle, there's something that you stole from me that you kept in your stuff. Because the only reason why a king would get the gold and a king would get the silver and the king would get the stuff that is now taken from the victim is to let you know, I won this. And as a king, I can take that. So when my riches are more added to is because I'm a king that has victories. So in this thing, what you're taking from me, one, is you're taking from me my glory. And you hid my glory amongst your own stuff. So how did we do that? You have taken his glory and said, this is my testimony. This is what I did. Look at what I showed. Look at what I went through. No. Look what he delivered you through. Look what he did. And we're hiding it underneath our own stuff.
That's good. That's good. That's good. You helping us right now.
There you are. There you are.
Because everything that we do is supposed to bring him glory.
It's supposed to bring him glory. He wouldn't deliver you. Let's be very simple. He wouldn't deliver you if it didn't bring him glory. The scripture shows that there was a young man that was blind. Some people around Jesus asked, why is this man blind? Is it because of his parents? Is it because of this situation? Did they sin? Did this person sin? Did he sin? What was the reason? He said, no, it wasn't for none of that. It was so my glory can be seen. So everything that God does, it always is going to connect to his glory. So in this moment, the question that he says is, did you steal my glory?
My.
And because you stole my glory, you can't stand.
That's good. That's good.
You can't beat the thing that you thought was small enough to win yourself.
My God. Come on now. Come on.
And the thing you thought was small that you would overcome, that you would be able to achieve, you would be able to win in. You can't even win because you stole my glory.
My God. My God. And you know, so one thing that comes to mind is when you talk about stealing God's glory, if we can put that in perspective where we give him glory in all things.
Yes, sir.
We can have joy in all the things that we do.
In all things.
Because God's going to sustain you because you have the right frame of mind as it relates to giving him glory.
Yes.
Come on, somebody.
Yes,
and
sir.
That's something we go through in life.
That is.
Even so, as you preached a message recently in church about assignment.
Yes, sir.
Come on,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Assignment. When we realize we're on assignment, what? To bring him glory.
It's to bring him glory.
Then we can actually have excitement. We won't be feeling all bashful. We won't be feeling nervous. We won't be feeling scared.
Yes, sir.
We know he in charge because ultimately it's to bring him glory.
It's to bring him glory. It's to bring him glory. Now, the other thing, again, because the word accursed that we're dealing with is basically, in a nutshell, just to sum it up, is your devotion to something else. Your worship to something else. The thing that you're supposed to be devoting yourself to is God, but you have devoted yourself to the thing that don't belong to you.
That's good.
And he said, because of that, that's an accursed thing. Now, the crazy part is how God dealt with the accursed thing is he didn't just kill him. Now, this is, because God, I'm like, wait a minute now, God, hold on. He stole it. His wife didn't steal it. His kids didn't steal it. His maids didn't steal it. They didn't have no, it was him. And I'm like, God, this is, but the reality of it is, and even in that time, what they used to do when they went to take over a territory, they killed everybody. Because the reason is I don't want your seed
Come on, sir.
to know that this is ritually what you do. So you stole his glory. Now I'm mad with the one that killed you for stealing his glory. And now I'm going to be mad at you. So now when I raise up, when I get older, when I'm now mature enough to be able to get my own type of army, who am I? I'm coming after the one that killed my daddy because he had his own glory.
Come on now. You're helping us.
And so God had to not only kill him, he had to kill his whole family. Everybody that was attached to you had to die. And then I buried you on top of each other and put stones on top of you to make sure that not only do you die, but I need this to be a memorial to understand this is what happens when you steal my glory.
Help us, Lord. Help us, Lord. That's deep. Come on, somebody.
So what God is asking is have you check your stuff? Check your life. Check the things. Because again, where did he bury it? He buried it in the dirt. Check your flesh. Check your flesh. When was the last time somebody gave you a compliment and you said, to God be the glory? And this is how you can tell if what you're doing is actually trying to give him glory. When they come to you, they should say, to God be the glory. If your actions of what you're doing and the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing is not to give him glory, then you're always stealing his glory. And because of that, he will show you you cannot stand. You cannot move another step without me. Because what gives you life, what gives you movement is because I called you for glory.
You know, one of the things I vision with this here is I got saved in 98 and got me a car in 01. And I was proud of this car. But when people say, Stu, man, nice car, man. Hey, man, appreciate it, Doc. You know what I mean? This is it right here, boy. I worked hard with this thing. Never gave God no glory. Now watch this. After 3 years, stuff started happening. Brand new car.
Yeah.
But after 3 years, nothing should really happen, especially when you keep the maintenance up.
Right.
Stuff started happening. What I'm visioning right now, because this is back in 04 when stuff started happening.
Yes, sir.
But here it is, 2019. You finally giving me the revelation.
We know better stuff.
Stuff started happening because I stole his glory.
Yes, sir.
It was a nice car. What number the Honda Accord? Well, I say wasn't nothing, but anyway, it was a Honda Accord. It was a nice car, but I never gave God the glory because I had tore up credit.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm able to drive off the lot with a car that only had 10 miles.
Yes, sir. Yes,
a car that I loved, a car that I wanted, but I never gave God the glory. I'm acting like I done did some things or whatever like that to get my credit straight.
Right.
No, I didn't. I ain't did nothing.
Right.
I went on there and the individual told me, hey, you can walk off this lot or drive up this lot with this car. And I was like, for real? And then when I did it, I was like, all right, you know. Praise God, man. This is good.
Yes, sir.
This is good.
I think really where, Stu, that we all have to stay in a place, in a posture of understanding how God functions. See, sometimes I think we misunderstand in these type of moments that God is still king.
Yes, indeed.
We misunderstand it because we always look at him in one side of saying that he's only God. But yeah, he's God, but he's a king. So a king, in all reality, wants glory.
Yes, indeed.
A king has to have glory. The reason why is because everything in his kingdom looks to him for glory. So I cannot get anything without the king's approval. I can't get anything. I cannot satisfy myself or be able to have the riches that I want if I'm in a kingdom without the king getting the glory. So if that's the understanding, then everything that I do, everything that I make, every breath that I take, I should be saying, God, to God be the glory, because I would not have what I have without the King of glory. So if we walk in that understanding, if we walk in that revelation, that everything that I do, let it give you glory. We use these what I call spiritual sayings where I don't want to be seen. But okay, let's be honest. My uncle used to say this: you don't want to be seen, but you're the only face I see. So if you're the only face that I see, that's the reality. If you're the only face that I see, then the reality is you're the only person that can direct me to where my glory is supposed to go.
My God.
My.
And if you don't direct me to where my glory is supposed to go, where my praise is supposed to go, where my worship is supposed to go, then the only thing that I'm going to praise, only thing that I'm going to worship, only thing that I'm going to give glory to is the thing that I see. Because that was his problem. He said, I saw and it looked good. You sing and you look good. You preach and you look good. You give out money and you look good. But does what you do give him glory? Does I direct it to him having glory? And if it's not directing him to have glory, then really you're on the same mode as Satan.
Tell the truth, sir.
Because Satan's only problem really was not that he was anointed. He didn't want to give him glory. He wanted the glory now for myself. I don't want them to have glory given to you. When I worship, I don't want them to give glory to you no more. I want to have it within myself. And he says that's an accursed thing. Now we look at only that it's prideful. It's the same mindset. Your pride is the accursed thing. Your unforgiveness is the accursed thing. Your disobedience is the accursed thing. Because all of those things do not give him glory.
My. Come on, somebody. This is Minister Hiram Roche, y'all, doing his segment of Moving Forward. Come on now, be checking yourself. That's the title of the message tonight, y'all. Check yourself. That's coming from Joshua, y'all. Amen. So we're excited about it. Hey, look at here. I want to go ahead and just apologize for everybody. It's 6:37. We should have been on the air at the 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So we got to wind it down. We got my sister. She is on the, what they call it in baseball, getting the next batter up, get ready to hit a home run. She's on deck, y'all. She's on deck. She's on deck. What is Shonda Curb, y'all? She's in the house, man. Amen. Brother, look ahead. It was a good message, man. I'm gonna give you a minute or two. Go ahead and wind it up and encourage our hearts. Sir. Thank you so much for being patient, amen. Yes, and look here, everybody. I want you to go and lift them up in prayer because I asked of the Lord a request, and amen. So looking for him to come on back in a couple of days. You understand? Anyway, go ahead. Minister Hiram, if you would, please.
I'll say this and I'll end with this. For all those that are listening, for anybody that is watching, let your life be for his glory.
Yes, sir.
And if you let your life be for his glory, he takes care of you.
That's good.
See, we have to understand, again, you are his ambassador. And as an ambassador, the kingdom has to take care of an ambassador.
Yes, indeed.
But if the ambassador's not doing his job, you get fired. That means now you have to provide for yourself. We have to live as ambassadors where we are giving God glory in all things that we do. And God said, and I shall supply all of your needs according to my, not yours, my own riches in glory. Because why? I got the glory.
Yes, indeed.
Not you. You couldn't save you. You couldn't heal you. You couldn't deliver you. You couldn't get the job. You couldn't have got the car. You couldn't have created the business. You couldn't have had those children. You couldn't have the type of marriage that you want. You couldn't have the type of family that you want. Let's be real. You couldn't breathe the type of air that you breathe if I didn't need you to give me glory.
Come on, sir. Come on, sir.
So live your life, giving him glory.
Amen. That's Minister Hiram Roche, y'all, right here on KRG in the Rock. That is his segment that happens every single Monday on the first Monday of the month. It is the Moving Forward segment with my dear friend, Minister Hiram Roche. He's in your ear, was in your ear, for God will have your ear. And we're coming right back. Elijah, if you will go ahead and strike up one commercial.